Do not become a real estate agent unless you can handle these 4 facts. My name is Ali Garced. I am a real estate agent. I'm with eXp Realty. I've been a realtor for less than 3 years, and I've made almost triple what I would have been making had I stayed in the military and continued at the rank of major. I separated from the Air Force after a decade of service in 2022, and now I'm making way more being a real estate agent, working for myself at the hours I choose, working with people that I want to work with. There is nothing better than that. But it's not all rainbows and butterflies. It's not all commission checks and paydays. It's not all just money in the bank. And it's not all just looking at pretty homes. So if you think that you're going to become a real estate agent because you like looking at homes, because you like the inside, because you like being nosy, that's what I hear from people, like, oh yeah, I just like seeing the inside of other people's homes. You're in for a treat. Jeez. I talk to real estate agents all the time, and I've heard it all. I've heard people saying that they want to become a real estate agent because they want that quick paycheck. They want that fat paycheck, which you can get, but it is a lot of work. My initial goal with being a real estate agent, I first started out as a part-time agent. I told myself I would leave the Air Force. I would separate from the Air Force the good, $120,000 paycheck, as well as the health benefits. I would separate from all of that if I could match that being a real estate agent. So I told myself if in the first year I could make exactly the amount of money that I was making in the Air Force, I would leave. So I was looking to make over 6 figures within the first year while I was still a part-time real estate agent, and I made that in 8 months. Did I bust my tail off for that? Yes, I did, but I wanted to make sure that I gave it a good, honest shot. So that way I wouldn't be playing the, oh, what if game later. So I separated from the Air Force, and that's when I switched from being a part-time agent to a full-time real estate agent. I just wrapped up 2023. I did 44 transactions. I'm a solo agent. I'm not on a team. I'm not being fed leads. I lead generate all on my own. And the purpose of this channel is to help you grow your business too, especially if you end up partnering with us, because the community is everything. But I digress. I made these 4 bullet points so that way you know if you check these boxes off, and if they are you, and especially if all of them are you, it might not be the best idea to become a real estate agent, or at least not full-time. If you want to set up a call with me to see if you and I would be a good fit, because we are surrounded by people that do monstrous amounts of transactions, we are driven. If you want to be a part of our crew, no matter what country you're in, no matter what state you're in, we're everywhere. Comment the word partner below. Let's schedule a call. I'll also have my Calendly link in the description below. I want to talk to you if you are a driven person. I first became a real estate agent because I was not happy in the military. And I'm sure if you're watching this video, you might be in the same position. You might also be in a W-2 or an employee of some sort, and maybe you don't like your boss. Maybe you're tired of having a boss. Maybe you're tired of clocking in and checking in, your butt on the seat for a long time and then checking out. And it's just the same thing every single day. I get it. I was there with you. There was nothing that drove me more insane. Actually, I had depression and I had a lot of anxiety because of my work when I was active duty Air Force, and I couldn't take it anymore. Yes, the pay was pretty good. At the time, I thought it was the best that I could get. That was a large limiting belief, but I was hooked, those golden handcuffs, because of the benefits. That's until I started surrounding myself by agents that were crushing it. Everything of what I was making an entire year, some agents in our crew make in 5-6 months. So I was like, this is the crew that I need to be a part of. I need to learn from them. I need to slide into their circles, be a part of this crew so that way I also can retire early. So that's now my journey, and I'm helping other agents also retire early. Don't be opening doors until you're 85, 95 years old. Retire early, make work optional, so that way you can actually live the life that you want to live. Those are the agents that I want to partner with, be a business partner with here at eXp. Again, no matter what city, state, country you're in. The first reason not to become a real estate agent is if you lack discipline. And in this video, I'm diving deep. Let's start with financial discipline, right? You get that paycheck, or you know what, even before that, you go under contract, whether you're representing a buyer or a seller, you go under contract, say you're listing a property at $500,000, you see the 3% commission, and you automatically start thinking as if you already have that commission in your paycheck, and you start living large. If you do not have the discipline to not do that. You will not last as a real estate agent. Really, you might not last in a sales position in general. So first and foremost, you have to have financial discipline. Every single time you get something under contract does not mean you will get a commission out of that. There's still a good chance that even though you're under contract, you might not close. Anything can happen. How does that phrase go? Don't count your chickens before they hatch, I think it is. I'm the worst with phrases, but pretty much don't spend your paycheck before you have it in your bank. If you're living like that, it might not be a good idea to be a real estate agent. Now, say once you do get that commission check, excellent. Your clients love you, whether you represented the buyer or the seller, you get that fat check into your account. What happens from there? Do you have the discipline to follow the profit first system that we all follow? First thing is you got to go with taxes, especially if you're coming from a W-2 where you had taxes withheld before you even got the amount. Now you have to save a large portion of your commission away for taxes. Then how much are you paying yourself for your own compensation? How much are you paying yourself for profit? Book a call with me again. I do this all the time. Book a call with me in case you have any questions about the profit first. I love talking about this because I am a nerd. So book a call. The link is below. Let's chat about your finances. And that's all just under financial discipline. We also have a lot of trainings when it comes to discipline in general. A lot of us happen to be military background, but you don't have to be military background or even active duty to be a part of our crew, 5 pillars. We're everywhere. We have since then expanded quite a bit. We're growing about I don't even know, but we're growing quite a bit. But discipline in general, do you have the discipline? Say you're having a hard conversation with a buyer, with a seller, with whoever you're representing, is maybe a buyer's dad. That's always the running joke, right? Like in memes and stuff. The dad always comes to inspections and ruins it all. But you have to have the discipline to remain professional, to remain yourself, authentic, in order to have those hard conversations, because you are going to be having a lot of hard conversations. You also have to have the discipline to lead, prospect, generate leads every single working day. If you do not have your calendar set up where you know exactly what you're doing every single hour of the day, you might not have what it takes to be a successful real estate agent. Now, I'm not saying this is the rule, if you check one of these off, then you're definitely not going to be a real estate agent. I'm not saying that. There are always exceptions to every rule. I'm saying very, very generally speaking, if you're unorganized, you don't have the discipline to tell yourself, hey, from 8 a.m. to noon, I'm going to be calling everybody on my phone. I'm going to be knocking on doors. I'm going to be doing open houses. If you don't have a system, then every single day you're going to be waking up unemployed and wondering where your next commission check is coming from. And that is not a place to be, my friend. Now, the second reason to not become a real estate agent is if you are lazy. It kind of goes hand in hand with the first point with being disciplined. But if you think that real estate is just easy money, that all you're doing is just opening a door, then you know what? I challenge you to be a real estate agent. No, but in all seriousness, it is a lot of work. And so if you think that once you become a real estate agent, all you're going to do is just maybe post something on Facebook, hey, I'm licensed now, and your friends and family are just going to come off flocking, sell my house, I'm ready to buy. That is not the case at all. Social media paints a very largely different picture. Clients will not just come knocking at your door unless you already have tens of thousands of real followers. Chances of that happening are very, very slim. You have to work hard. You have to know exactly what you're doing. You have to have the social presence. You have to tell people, hey, I'm a real estate agent and this is why you should choose me. That's exactly what I did when I first got licensed. I was telling every single person that I am real estate. Hey, by the way, in case you're PCSing this summer, please let me know. I can connect you to a good agent out in Biloxi, out in Montana, out in wherever. That's how I started a large portion of my business being outbound referral. And now it's 87% of my business is outbound referral. But I have a lot of other videos that talk about that. Overall, a lot of people think that real estate agents don't really do a lot, that all they see is us opening the door. So yeah, that makes us seem like we're getting paid a lot to just open up a door, right? But there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes, and that isn't always shown. The conversations, the negotiations that happen behind the scenes, making sure that you are being empathetic enough to your clients, to the buyers, the sellers. The cross agent is everything. And having a good experience to where your buyers want to work with you again, your sellers recommend you again, and that buyer's agent or that listing agent wants to work with you again. It's balancing a lot of moving pieces, and that's only with one client at a time. To be able to scale, you have to have the organization. You have to have a good, crisp file for every single person. Reach out to me because I have the checklist for the buyers, for sellers, and for outbound referrals. So that way you know exactly where each person is at, what the next steps are, and they know the same thing. So that way the buyers are never saying, hey, what's next? That you should never hear that question being asked from your clients. If you ever hear that question, you are way behind the ball and you need to reach out to me, okay? I can help. Overall, just know a lot of agents think it's from the contract, from going under contract until closing, that's where the money is made. That is, but also, how do you even get there if you don't do the beginning steps of that, which is even finding the client? And that usually is the hardest part for real estate agents. So you cannot be lazy in thinking that clients are just going to come to you because now I'm licensed. Why wouldn't they want to work with me? No. You're going to humble yourself and you're going to do the work. You're going to make the calls. You're going to do the text messages. You're going to make the videos. So that way people know, oh, that girl, she knows what she's talking about. I think I do want to reach out to her. Or Allie, I see Allie signs everywhere. Allie real estate, Allie real estate. That's what you want people to think of. Also, when it comes to lazy, are the actual transaction, like the paperwork. You want to make sure all your I's are dotted, all your T's are crossed. And that's even if you have a transaction coordinator, which I highly suggest you hire somebody just to do your paperwork because they can do it way faster than you. Because your job as a real estate agent is just to make appointments and go on appointments. That is it. I say this time and time again. It is not to take photos of a property. It is not to do the paperwork. It is not spending hours and hours creating a logo. That does not move the needle. That does not get you paid. What does get you paid? Set up appointments, go on appointments. Set up appointments, go on appointments. Set up appointments, go on appointments. Now, I think you get that point. Okay, point number 3. The third reason to not get your real estate license is if you do not like talking to people. And this might shock you, but there are a lot of introverted agents in real estate and they're crushing it. I'm not saying that if you're introverted, you're not going to be doing well as an agent. I'm not saying that at all. I actually fall a little bit on the introverted side. Well, I'm always falling somewhere in the middle. Believe it or not. Everyone's like, oh my God, I thought you're like so extroverted. I can turn that shit on. I can turn that shit off. But usually I'm like actually right in the middle. Now, I do want to make this clear. I'm not saying that introverted agents cannot make it. I'm saying if you hate talking to people, period, whether it's text message or phone call or in person at an open house or anything, if you do not like talking to people, sales in general, cross that shit off your list. But if you can turn it on and if you can turn it off, then yes, sales is for you. And I would suggest becoming a real estate agent. An insider scoop into my business is I don't answer the phone. I do not answer phone calls. And guess what? That's because I don't like answering phone calls. And guess what? Even more, I've done 44 transactions in the last year. I've done almost 100 and I've been in the business less than 3 years. And I've tripled my income of what I was making in the military. You can make a lot of money without answering your phone. However, you just have to have the systems and processes, like they always say, the systems in place in order to counteract that. You know, when a phone call comes in, what do? I have an iPhone, but the same thing happens for an Android. When a call comes in, I always go down to the bottom left-hand side. There's a little bubble thing that says the predetermined messages, like, can I call you right back? I click on that. I already have a saved canned response that says, hey, I'm currently with a client right now. Is there anything that I can help you with via text? And I just send it every single call unless I'm under contract with that client or we already had an appointment to talk to that client or a cross agent. But any brand new strange number, I do not answer. And that's because I don't like phone calls. But guess what? You can still be a killer real estate agent. I'm not calling myself a killer real estate agent, although I did make Icon and that's like the top 1% of eXp Realty. So I did make Icon, but anyway, you don't have to answer every single phone call. In fact, I think that puts you way behind. If you're answering every single incoming text, email, phone call, it takes you 20 minutes just to go back to the task that you were doing beforehand. So you can spend all day and the rest of your life really responding to every single text and email that you get. You're on everyone else's time. And if you don't have control over your own schedule, know like this hour I'm making a video. This hour I'm posting or responding to certain messages on Instagram. This hour I'm cold calling. This hour I'm doing an open house. If you're not so disciplined, back to number one, into what your calendar is, your life is going to be run by someone else, everyone else actually. But again, the greater point of number three being, if you hate talking to people, no matter what mode that is, whether it's Instagram message or LinkedIn message, text message, Marco Polo app, if you hate talking to people, this is not the best business or industry for you. And that's okay. Now, the last and the fourth reason to not become a real estate agent, and people mess this up all of the time, and I'm going to say this first. I talk to multiple agents every single day of other brokerages that are struggling. They've done one transaction in the last year. They've done maybe 5 transactions in the last year. Sometimes they've done 20, but 20 is not their goal. And I ask them, what is your goal? And say their goal was 40. Or if they've done 10 transactions, maybe their goal was 20. And I ask them, how many others around you in your office are also doing 20, are doing your goal? If your goal is 40, how many around you in your office, and I'm not saying doesn't have to be like in person, in your virtual brokerage, whatever it is, how many are also doing and are already achieving the goal that you have for yourself? If there's only one person, or if there's only 2 people that are doing it, then you're joining the wrong community. You need to join a group where your goal, your stretch goal, is everyone else's every day. So community is number 4. You want to make sure that not only are you interviewing the recruiter that you're talking to, but the other agents in that crew, in that community. Are they killing it? Do they like it? Are they making the amount of money that you want to be making? Now, not everyone's going to be honest, but if you book a call with me, I want to talk to you about your goals, because I have a very, very simple spreadsheet in order to help you reverse engineer. Say your goal is to make $200,000. We'll reverse engineer how many conversations you need to have every single year, quarter, month, week, day. So that way you have a number in your head every single day for the rest of the year. That is going to be your number. You wake up and you just think that number. It's not hard. I've done this every single year in the last 2.5 years, and I've achieved my goals. In fact, I hope to retire this year because of achieving my goals and because of the community that I surrounded myself with. I interviewed 13 different brokerages. I interviewed a lot. I was like, hey, what are your commission splits? What are your XYZ? What's that? Like, do I have to come in the office? Do you do Zillow? Or I asked all of the questions, and now I have a very, very specific set of questions that every person that I meet with, I tell them what questions to ask every brokerage. There were questions that I wish that I had asked, but I also know that I made the right choice the first time. So more than happy to share that with you. But just make sure, if your goal is to make $200,000 and you're joining a group of agents where the hot shot agent is making 75, or the average, like the average people around you are making 75K, that's not the right group. So you want to make sure that you are joining the right communities, everything. If you want more about our community, drop the word partner in the links below or shoot me a text message. See you in the next video. Bye.